Your entire body shakes when you laugh, as if your sense of humor was built on a fault line and the coast of your heart falls into the ocean of yourself. And I'm left looking for this Atlantis, left looking for this place that exists in the stories told by old men who were there when the mathematics assured them their willingness to believe was greater than their determination to dismiss. I'm left looking for Atlantis. Regardless of the scientists that insist my efforts would be better spent unearthing clues to where the wild things went. Try as it might, faith can't put a dent to fact. So we settled for a science and reenact the world as if the universe was curled around this globe, and if we consider that the universe is never ending, then we're not even a microbe. We're like a death threat from the Pacific. We're nothing. But the Heisenberg uncertainty principle states that nothing's faux shizzle. And the interesting thing about that is that it ensures that the principle itself can't be a fact. But we still act as though this time we can see the forest through the trees, regardless of the softwood, lumber, leaves. We fall in the line like a forested pine. It's all straight rows where everything grows, a little less wild, a little more humdrum ho-hum. We come from the mentality that we rarely see horror and symmetry, or the beauty in nonconformity. We insist that for us, everything must be clear-cut. But what about philosophy? What about the tree that fell in the forest and no one was around to hear? It's a little less clear, a little more deep, like if Oprah Winfrey farts in a bathtub, no bubbles come to the surface. Is there an alternate universe where the price of gas is cheap? Impossible, but we can't prove it. Any more than we can prove that the light can move fast enough to the monster hiding in the closet. We just posit our fear, but clear our minds to the possibility that maybe we as adults still get afraid of the dark, things that go bump in the night. And I can't prove that I've ever loved anyone, but despite the smoking and the overweight body, I want to grow old with you. Go through muscle and joint hates to the point that every time it rains, we can feel on our knees get arthritis so bad that every time we move, we sound like 2 bowls of Rice Krispies. We're all snap, crackle, and pop, but we still take the time to stop and take the time to. I'm looking for Atlantis, letting space turn this fiction into fact, as if I've turned this missing continent for decades, and all I know so far is that it is somewhere underwater. And I'm looking for clues in the most blurry photos of UFOs, and I'm thinking, if aliens are so smart, then why don't they just start making their spaceships look like airplanes? An airplane, how commonplace and not suspect at all. We're all shipwrecked on this idea that everything has to be explained, but maybe we just need to believe the living drop off the cliff just prove that they love us. And sure, that sacrifice is as empty as a box of condoms that politicians use when they thought they could fuck us, but it is nice to believe that somebody up there cares enough to plummet onto jagged, back-breaking rocks and attempt to tell us we're beautiful. Tell us as far as life goes, our fingerprints are like snowflakes. We can leave them on everything, but they melt in the time it takes to touch someone's tongue. But if we're lucky, maybe we're remembered, along with the sunken cities, a lost continent. This is for each child whose monument is to the ones who came before. Maybe we can best hope it is those we can leave behind in comfort, knowing that we're born out of love and not science. That biology explains the how, love explains the why, so in the event of our death, we hereby bequeath all those words to you, and they are only meant to say that uncertainty is something everyone goes through. And there is not much in the way of proof, but believe me, we loved you. We held our breaths for your first step, your first word. We laughed when it finally occurred to you that lemons are sour. This is for every time love becomes the finest man in the darkest hour, wondering where the wild things went for the believers who lent us their madness. This is for everyone we miss, and this is for the children who are lost. Sadness is nothing more than the cost of being able to smile once in a while, and grief is the trial we stand to offer evidence that your fingerprints were left on our hearts and on our skin. In terms of proof, love can be demonstrated in giving. Our lives consist of efforts we give in swimming towards the lost continent where you are rumored to be living.